Today, we're going to talk about a pretty fundamental shift in how AI is being built. For years, AI models have been built from our data, a lot of the time without us even realizing it. But what if that whole model got flipped on its head? What if AI was built with us? Let's dive into this new idea where you're not the product, you're actually a partner.
And this quote right here, it just gets straight to the heart of the problem. We hear all this buzz about bigger and bigger AI models, more and more computing power, but that's not the real issue. The true bottleneck for the entire industry, it's the data.
Exactly. It's not about brute force, it's about precision. The real challenge is getting your hands on high-quality, super specific, and accurate data. It's kind of like trying to build a brand new race car using rusty mismatched parts you found in a scrapyard. It just doesn't work. The quality of what you put in is always going to determine the quality of what you get out.
Okay, so if the problem is junk data, then the solution, well, it has to start with getting better ingredients, right? So let's take a look at how that's actually being done.
And here's where the new approach really starts to take shape. Instead of just scraping everything off the messy, public internet, Codatta is focused on creating datasets that are built on purpose with contributors. This means the data is cleaner, it's way more precise, and, this is super important, it comes with a clear history of who owns it.
So let's look at a concrete example. So this isn't all just theory. This robotics dataset, this is a real, tangible, high-value asset. It is absolutely packed with incredibly detailed information, stuff you could never, ever get just by scraping random videos online. It's like the difference between a blurry, out-of-focus photo from a security camera and a precise, high-resolution engineering blueprint.
So why does all that precision matter so much? Well, because it unlocks some truly mind-blowing real-world abilities. When you have data this good, AI can start to predict an object's path. It can control a robotic arm in a factory with incredible accuracy, and it can actually understand how different objects interact with each other. This is the bedrock of what's called embodied AI, which is really just a fancy way of saying AI that can see, understand, and work with the physical world all around us.
So we've got the what, this super high-quality data. But the how, well, the how is just as revolutionary. I mean, how do you actually build these amazing data sets at a massive scale?
The answer is, you don't just take the data, you build it together. The real secret sauce is creating a system that empowers people to contribute without a lot of friction and then actually rewards them for it. It's about shifting people from being passive users to being active builders who have a real stake in the outcome.
And, making it easy to contribute is absolutely crucial. Take something like the Codatta clip extension. It's so simple. You just install it, you hit the start button, and that's it. You're contributing valuable fashion data just by browsing online like you normally would. It all happens in the background, you get rewarded for it, and an everyday action suddenly starts creating real value.
But look, it's not just a one-way street where data flows out. To get those really high-quality contributions, you need a community that's actually engaged. So the platform also gives back. It shares knowledge and tries to make the whole process of learning something new feel interactive and, honestly, kind of fun.
For example, check this out. Is this a gripper or is it a two-finger hand? Now, this might seem like a really picky question, but in a field like robotics, getting the terminology right is everything. It's all about precision. So, what do you think?
It's a gripper, and the details here really matter. See, a gripper has rigid plates designed for clamping down. A hand, on the other hand, has much more complex, flexible joints. It might seem like a tiny difference, but this is exactly the kind of expert knowledge that builds world-class data and, at the same time, builds a smarter, more informed community. Now, this whole ecosystem of creating data and engaging a community, it's not just running on good vibes, right? It's powered by a totally new economic engine.
And that engine is built on one simple, powerful idea: having skin in the game. The philosophy is that for data to be truly trusted and valuable, everyone involved, from the contributor to the builder to the client, needs to have real stakes in the outcome. It makes sure everyone's incentives are perfectly aligned.
So let's just put these two models side by side for a second. In the old model, the traditional one, you are the product. Your data is just taken, you get zero ownership, you get zero royalties. The Codatta model flips that entire script. Now the data is built by contributors, it's backed by royalties, and you actually become an owner.
And the tool that makes all this possible is the XNY token. Now, don't just think of it as some kind of digital currency. It's really the engine for this whole system. It's what's used to mint, or basically create, a digital certificate of ownership for the data you contribute. You can stake it, which is kind of like putting down a security deposit to show you're a serious contributor and earn rewards. Clients use it to pay for the data.
and it even gives you a vote in how the whole platform is run.
Okay, so this is all really fascinating from a tech point of view, but let's bring it all back home. What does this huge shift actually mean for you personally?
We hear all this talk about AI taking jobs, but this quote really highlights how a model like this could actually start creating them. It opens the door for a brand new kind of role, the AI trainer, the expert contributor who gets paid for what they know.
And really, this is the main takeaway. Your unique expertise, whether it's about fashion or robotics or literally anything else, it's no longer just some passive information sitting in your brain. It becomes a valuable asset. You can now actively participate in building the future of this technology and actually get compensated for it. It's a way more democratic, way more participatory way to move forward.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. As these kinds of systems get bigger and more common, could contributing your data and your expertise become the next great side hustle? Like driving for Uber or freelancing online? It's a pretty powerful idea to think about. That's all for today. Thanks for tuning in.